Hi everyone, welcome. I wanted to come on to summarize what happened. We had a little bit of a technical problem with our event regarding the false allegations in child custody battles. So we had some technical problem and we were not able to stream the event live. So we went ahead and had an event offline and we recorded it. So we're going to share the video with you guys and let you guys know how to access the video later. But for now, I wanted to get online to share with you guys sort of the highlight and the summary of the event. So we started the event with an author who have done some research into the data regarding false allegation. And the data is kind of quite interesting actually because you then realize that there are a lot more false allegations than people like to acknowledge or people even aware of. And the problem with false allegation is that when people don't realize that there are false allegations, you don't realize that the distribution of, for example, resources, funding from the government or resources, access to resources, what it means is that the true victims are not getting the resources they need because it's being used by these false alligators. And then on top of that, you also, when false allegations are proven to be wrong, right? Now that we know that there are false allegations, it then put it's really jeopardized the chance for the real victims to be able to recognize because we now then all question if an allegation is true or not. And sometimes people who are true victims may lose their chance of being able to get the help that they need and be able to recognize and be able to prove the false allegation. So that's why it is important for us to figure out a way of fighting false allegation and the system is really doing a poor job at that. So anyway, we started the event with an author that shares some of the data that he did, some of the research that he did on that. And then we interview a parent who has gone through the process of being falsely accused in the context of child custody dispute. And then she then shared the story of how she was falsely accused and lost the custody of the children, but was able to fight for her custody again. And there's a lot of lessons that could be drawn from the story, but in general, though, I wanted to highlight a few things. And like I said, we're gonna let you know how to access the video later. But some of the key things I would like to bring it to you guys for now is that the root cause of false allegations started with the fact that you are in dispute with someone who is toxic, who is abusive, and so who creates this false allegation against you. And there's an aspect of it, right? It started with this power imbalance because you were in a relationship with this person, somebody who is toxic and abusive, and so it through the relationship, it's already did a lot of things to your self-esteem. So when you now get to a point where you're going through child custody battle and have this dispute, and then there's this false allegation that go against you because of this power imbalance that already had established in your relationship with this toxic and abusive person, a lot of the time you because you get used to normalize the abuse. So then now when the abuse happens again, now in the public instead of just in the private relationship, a lot of the times parents don't realize that they have rights. They have to take whatever the courts say, or they don't know how to fight. So one of the big important takeaway that I wanted to highlight here is that it's so important for you to be aware of your rights. So number one, to be aware of your rights. And so self-education is so important. So the fact that you are here and listening to this video shows that you actually put in the work. You wanted to learn, you wanted to figure out how to deal with this. So thank you for being here. So that's one thing. The second thing is that when you're going through being a victim of false allegation, it's devastating. It's horrific because it attacks your sense of integrity. It attacks your self-esteem. It attacks so many things, and you know these are things that are wrong, but yet it's being said about you. So it challenged so many things, and so it's very easy for you to get triggered. And when you go through the custody dispute, unfortunately, if you get triggered and you lash out and you become emotionally unstable, it's very easy for other people to misunderstand you. So it's easy for judges, for guardian ad litem, for child coordinator and things like that to misread you. And then they might then confirm the false allegation by looking at you and say, oh, look at that. He or she clearly is emotionally unstable. He or she probably is violent. He or she probably is abusive. So they might end up believing this false allegation. So it's so important for you to stay really grounded. So while you are learning about your right, standing up for your right, putting your foot down, but in a way that is firm but yet still polite, and in a way that you are emotionally stable. And so, how do you do that? You can't draw your emotional support from your children. You can't do that. You can't draw your emotional support from your lawyers. You can't do that. Your lawyers are there to deal with the legal issues. And a lot of the time, I've seen parents, and I interview many parents who end up using the lawyer as their emotional crutch. You can't do that. So you need to figure out to get where to get support from. You need that support. You need it so badly. So look for that community of support because you need that foundation. And sometimes recognize that that foundation of support may not come from your family and your friends, because being a victim of false allegation is something that is so painful, and a lot of people don't relate to it. A lot of people don't understand it. And if you don't understand it, if you don't relate to it, oh, congratulations to you, because that, I mean, you've never been a victim of that. And so that's a good luck for you. That's a great thing for you. But for the victims, it's very difficult for you to get support from your family and friends because they cannot relate to you. So you need to find the support. You need to find your community from places that have people who have gone through it, so that they can relate to you. They understand what it takes. They can understand what the challenges that you are going through, because you need to stay grounded. You need to stay strong. And that is so important. And that's why I was saying to you earlier, is that the root cause of it, it's come back down to the psychology of your mind. Like, you need to be strong. You need to break this power imbalance between you and this abusive person. So anyway, the event, like I said, started with an author sharing some data on false allegation, and then we interview a parent with a successful story of fighting back against false allegation, and then we share some other data regarding custody interference and things like that. So I just wanted to share with you the highlights, the summary of the event, and then we will figure out a way of letting you know how you can access to the recording of the event. I know that there have been changes with Facebook, and technology is sometimes really challenging. So we've been having some problem actually, and so anyway, that's why we're gonna hopefully we figure this out before the next event. I also wanted to say, we actually last week we interviewed a judge who is a family court and youth and family court judge about parental alienation and about child custody in general as well, actually, and that was a very insightful conversation. Again, that's also a private event, so I will let you guys know how to access that recording as well. So for now, stay wonderful, and I will talk to you guys again very, very soon. Thank you so much for being here. I don't know if you can hear me okay. I know I ran through this very quickly because it's now 3:30 a.m. my time. I'm traveling. I'm in Asia, so it's a little bit late, and so I'm gonna get offline now. But feel free to put your comment and questions, and then we'll figure out how you can access all this information. I do see some comment in the chat room. Okay, I don't know where it went, but yeah, feel free to put comment and question, and I will check back again in a normal daytime, my time. And thank you so much, Mara. Thank you so much. And like I said, yeah, we will figure out how you can access the recording of the event later. But thank you for being so patient with us, and your support means a lot. And stay wonderful. Thank you.